Unsyndicated presents Off the Air with Sean Baligian.
So, hi, good evening. Glad you could join us. He's Blake. I'm Sean. It is Tuesday night. We were just talking about this like right before we got on. So I'm gonna like continue the conversation as like you guys are just jumping in. We're just sitting here and okay, now you can join us. Okay, fantastic. Blake, can you read that list of events that the ladies game outnumbered last night? And of course, unless you live in a cave, we're talking about Iowa LSU. But the overnight ratings are in. I mean, it blew up. There's no other way to say that, Blake.
Yeah. So it had 12.3 million viewers last night, which, just for reference, and this is from Sports TV News and Updates on Twitter. It outdrew every NBA game last season except for Game 5 of the finals, every college football game last season outside of the college football playoff, Ohio State, Michigan, and the SEC championship. And it outdrew every MLB game last season. And also it has outdrawn every March Madness game so far this year.
That is insane.
Insane.
That is insane. It here's the thing. Like years ago, for the people that have followed my awful career, I used to make jokes. This is going back probably a dozen years ago about how sports in a certain regard are turning into soap operas for sports fans. Okay. With the exception being the NFL, because the NFL is an entity unto itself. We'll get back to that in just a second. When you think about it, Blake, it really is there has to be some kind of draw. And this had an incredible draw. I mean, obviously, the primary people, two incredible basketball players, the backstory going to last year and the pointing at the ring and this and all that crap. This, like, we should have seen it coming, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it'll probably be the highest rated game for the whole women's tournament. It'll probably rate higher than the championship game, I would assume.
That's unbelievable.
I think, and honestly, like, I think this is really good for women's sports, because the fact that it's gotten to a point where people are arguing and getting mad at stuff in the women's game, like they're treating it like a men's sport. Like the anger and the vitriol towards these players and everything is actually good for the sport, because 100%. People are actually talking about it.
100%. Listen, I think anybody that knows me knows I'm not exactly the most PC person. Okay. So when I say this, I want you to consider the source. I've gone on record many, many times. One of the coolest events I ever covered was the 2017 Women's World Championship in hockey. Okay. There is no rivalry in sports. None. Not even close. Don't argue with me. You'll lose, and you'll lose miserably. There is no rivalry in sports right now like the U.S. and Canada. Nothing compares. The vitriol, or whatever word you just used, that is far beyond my limited intelligence. The anger, the hatred, the history. There is nothing out there like that. I'm serious too. You can only see so much by watching it on television. You can only take in so much by reading the countless articles that have been written about it, heck, for 2 decades now. Until you're there, like, Blake, I'm serious. Those women just hate each other. And it's great for the game of hockey. Not women, not women's sports. it's great for the game of hockey. And I have no problem saying that. It's introducing my favorite game to a bunch of people that maybe wouldn't ordinarily discover the joys of hockey. So I'm glad to hear you say that. It's a great thing, period. It doesn't have to be a woman's thing or a man's thing. I think it's a great thing. I mean that.
Yeah, I mean, but just the fact that like people are treating it like another sport, like that's good. It's
Yep.
And Mike is right. People are betting on it like crazy. It was the highest bet
There
March
it is.
overall. Like
There
it
it is.
number and I think also though, like outside of all this, it's also and we talked about this a little. It's name recognition. You have two players
Sure.
that are household names, and even on the men's side, like who the teams that are left in the Final Four, like household names wise, like what you could say Zach Edey, and then outside of that, like can you name a whole lot of guys on those teams?
You're
DJ
absolutely
Burns,
right.
DJ Burns, just because he's a great story and people love a big man, but like those are two names that have carried throughout and they've stuck at those schools for 3-4 years. So now they're in people's brains and they know who they are.
Can I address the elephant in the room? The whole Angel Reese thing. Can I address that very quickly?
Yeah, go off.
There's part of me that thinks that she knows exactly what she's doing. There really is. There's part of me that really thinks she knows exactly what she's doing. She's done a tremendous job of marketing herself, and I don't say that disrespectfully. Okay, this last year and the pointing to the ring and all of that. Okay, but for her, with all the times that she has either posted pictures of herself or gone into Sports Illustrated, for her to go down the dehumanizing road and talk about how she's been sexualized and everything, uh, that's what makes me think, Blake, okay, she's doing this on purpose, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no possible way that a human being could believe that, knowing the background and how she's done that stuff. And by the way, I don't have a problem with it. Here, I hate this quote, but I'm going to drop it anyway. You do you. Okay. I hate that quote with everything inside of me, but you do you. But to come out and try to play the victim and talk about how you're being sexualized and everything, Angel, you got nobody to blame but yourself for that. Nobody to blame but yourself for that. That's a road that you decided to go down knowing full well what was going to happen. Like, knock it off. And so, Blake, I'm being serious. That's what makes me think like, okay, we didn't win, but I can keep some storylines about me and I'm going to say this and it's going to draw attention. And then idiots like you and I are going to be talking about it. It almost makes me think like she knows exactly what she's doing. She's going to stay in the news cycle. People are going to talk about her because you cannot conceivably be that dumb. You can't be, right?
Yeah. No, I agree. And I'm not going to be shocked when she comes back to school next year either, because like clearly she's bringing in good money through NIL and she's probably making more in the college game than she will in the WNBA because of where the college game for women is right now too. Like
Yeah.
she is marketing herself 100% though. I agree. 1,000%.
Go get your bag. Is that what the kids say? That's what
Yeah.
the kids
Yeah. You sounded so hip right there. That was real cool.
Go get your bag. I don't care. Like, seriously, like that stuff, the look at me stuff, do it all you want. But come on, don't play damsel in distress, babe in the woods after you lose a game and start talking about people sexualizing you. You have nobody to blame but yourself for that. I'm sorry. You made the choice to pose in these and she's a great looking girl, by the way. She's beautiful. But come on, you made the choice to go do this pictorial and post these pictures and things like that. Look, newsflash, that's what dirty pigs are going to do. I hate to tell you. Maybe your mom and dad didn't tell you, so I'll tell you. Like, come on.
As long as there's beautiful women in sports, there will be sickos and perverts that sexualize them. Period. Like, no
That's
matter
just the
what.
way it is.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. But what did you say it was? 12.4? Is that what the rating was?
No, I have to look again. I think it was
Sorry.
12.3. You were close. 12.3.
Jeez.
I mean, that's crazy. And look at us leading off the air with Sean Baligian with women's basketball.
Well, and I have
People,
no hat on too. Did I see?
yeah,
I
look at
do
that.
have hair, contrary to
beautiful.
what I have hair. See that? I do.
You have,
And I did.
you have very thick, beautiful hair. I will say
Yes.
it.
Yeah, I did. Thank you. I have thick, beautiful hair.
You're welcome.
The little silver fox there. You see that?
Are
Just a little,
we?
see that
Yeah,
little-
that makes you more distinguished.
Is it distinguished?
Yeah.
That's what I always say about the beard. It's just that
Yeah.
little.
Are we
that
going? Are we going hat or no hat on Friday? That's the real question.
This
for
is
the people.
listen. So all kidding aside, I went to a viewing. An old friend of mine, his mother passed away. You might know the Fracassi family of Southfield. I was friends with Mayor Fracassi's family. He passed away last June. The matriarch of the family just passed away. So I literally came straight from the viewing, and I can't get away with wearing a hat at a viewing. So you're a hat guy too, right? I mean, you're always wearing hats.
Yeah, I'm trying to like wean myself off of it a little bit.
Why are you trying to wean yourself off of it?
Because my wife's worried about me losing my hair, and she's.
About me losing my hair.
I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose my hair. I'll go full Joe Buck and get too many hair transplants if I.
So can I tell you that I believe that is 100% an urban myth.
Yeah, I do too.
I've
happy
heard
wife,
that,
happy life.
That's well, there's no argument there. I have heard that for 30 plus years because I like my senior year in high school is when I started. Mike said nothing wrong with losing hair. You're absolutely right, Mike. There's nothing wrong with losing hair. But I have heard that. I have heard that for 30 plus years. And since Mike's in the chat, he could vouch for this. I've been wearing hats almost on a daily basis for 35 years. And let's go back to what you just said like 3 minutes ago. I have a, what did you call a thick plush hair?
You have thick, beautiful hair.
Yeah. So what happened? What happened? I didn't lose any damn hair.
Yeah.
I don't got the receding hairline. I have thick, beautiful hair.
Mm-hmm. And your
I'm
wife's a fan of it.
Yeah, I'm going to go grab a hat right now then. Shouldn't say anything.
Did we just
like that. I'll grab a hat right now. Won't even think twice about it.
Didn't we just say happy wife, happy life, and you agreed? And then you say that?
Can we get back? Can we? Kirk Hunter said, I'm with Mike 100%. And Mike said, yes, he's been wearing a hat forever. I've heard that. Oh, you're going to lose your hair. Oh, really? Maybe when I'm 80. I don't know. Blake, the NFL is an entity unto itself, man. When we have these conversations about ratings, and good for the game of basketball. Seriously, good for the game of basketball. I think it's great. When we have these conversations, isn't it funny? The NFL, like you just put the NFL on a different burner or something, because it's like the NFL doesn't count. There's every other sport, and there's the NFL. It is absolutely amazing. And I'm going to say it again, because you're a young whippersnapper. For guys like me and some of the older guys out there, there was once a time, believe it or not, many, many, many years ago, that the NFL was not king. And all of a sudden, sometime in the early 80s, and I know Bill Keenest and I talked about it when we were doing Gridiron Rap the last few years. I don't know when moment zero was, when the NFL blew up. I always go back to the famous catch by Dwight Clark. It just seemed like it just went like this after that. Just my perception as a young kid. And by the way, that show was on WJR, and you can find Blake on WJR with the Mitch Albom Show and sports wrap. But Bill Keenest and I, of course, longtime employee of the Detroit Lions and mutual friend of ours, Bill Keenest and I we would always talk about like, when did it flip? And it was sometime in the 80s, because back in the day, baseball really was like the king, and you saw baseball have higher ratings. This has been, like, Blake, 40 years of not just dominating the sports landscape, but dominating television in general for the National Football League. It really is. It's insane. If you looked up right now, and I don't need to look it up. You can waste your time looking it up at home. Blake, you can look it up right now. If you look up like the most watched television events, there's just NFL games up and down the list. It's incredible.
Let me give you some context, because I looked this up because I was thinking about it while you were talking. The Chiefs-Dolphins game that was exclusively on Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And everyone was complaining, oh, I have to watch Peacock. I'm not watching that. It's on Peacock. You know how many people watch that game?
How many?
23 million. Double what that women's basketball game did. Double.
Isn't that incredible? Isn't that incredible?
Yeah. So I just made your point for you. You're welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And you said you were going to be mean tonight.
Yeah, I changed my mind. I've done nothing but nice things. Yeah, I got you there.
Jim said the Habs are getting screwed on a video review. I was just talking about that with they should have started Caden Primo. Do you remember Keith Primo? Is that in your lifespan? Do you remember Keith Primo?
Mm-mm.
Played for the Red Wings. His son is a goalie for the Habs, and he's been on fire, like literally on fire. But they've been playing en français instead, and they should have went with the other one.
Can I get excited again about the Wings?
Yes.
After last night, I'm just going to get excited again.
I think so. I'm going to talk more about this with Mike tomorrow. But there is speculation and rumor and innuendo that Steve Yzerman is none too pleased with Coach Lalonde right now. And let me just say this. The guys who throw it out there are two very well-respected guys, okay? In Duff and Kevin Allen. I know both of them. They don't throw things against the wall. And in fairness, in the article, citing sources, they included the one thing that I hope you remember this when we were doing the show with Darren McCarty. If somebody tells you they know what Steve Yzerman's going to do, they're not telling you the truth. They aren't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I hope you remember Darren and I used to say that all the time. Steve Yzerman doesn't let things out there. Period.
Mm-hmm.
End of story. Like it's not exactly a secret. So when I read that article, I wasn't exactly shocked. When I talked to a few people that I know, in my opinion, I'm not denying in any way, shape, or form the reporting that either Kevin Allen or the Duffer do at all. Not at all. In my humble opinion, I think it's a lot of speculation. That's not to say, again, that somebody didn't privately say that might be the case, because, again, I respect Duffer and Kevin Allen so much. But to your point, Blake, I think all bets would be off if the Red Wings punched their ticket into the playoff. I think whatever issue, it might go away unless there really is some culture problem that we don't know about. Because I think for weeks, we all, and when I say we all, I mean people that were watching, I think we all kind of sat back and got, is there something wrong? Because this team, they don't look the same. They just look off. So we'll wait and see how that plays out. But to your point,
real quick, do you think though that got out because he wanted it to get out? Because that also seems like an Yzerman thing. Like if he wants something out there to make a statement, he'll let it get out. Or is
I'm
that
not
not his
sure.
style? You would know better than
Yeah,
me.
I don't think so, to be honest
Okay.
with you. I don't. Now it helps, by the way, right now the Hawks are on top of the Islanders and Les Sabres de Buffalo are on top of the Caps, who I think everybody and their brother had the Caps dead and buried. I did. I openly raised my hand and say I did. So that helps things out. But to your point, I don't think Steve would operate that way.
Okay.
I don't think he would. Okay, so my guess is if he's having those feelings, there would be one person that would know, and I think it would be his friend and assistant general manager Chris Draper. And again, let me capital I, capital F. I think if there was anybody out there,
Yeah.
capital I, capital F. Now, that's not going to stop people from speculating about it. That's not going to stop people from, wondering aloud, okay, what direction they would go in. I saw Craig Berube's name was mentioned. I will throw my buddy's name out there, Mike Vellucci. He's been a guy for a couple years now that a lot of people have said, he might be the next man up. And, he was a finalist for multiple jobs, et cetera, et cetera. But that's all just throwing it out there to have conversation. As far as I'm concerned, I think the moment that you'll hear that Steve Yzerman really, truly doesn't like Coach Lalonde, if that's the case, is when Steve Yzerman announces that they're making a coaching change. Because that's just not the way that he operates. That's just not the way that he operates.
No, that makes sense. 100%.
Yeah. I do want to talk a little bit about the Wings in just a second, but Blake, can we talk about our friends at Batch Brewing? Because we are so fired up to be out there on Friday. If you're looking for a place to hang out, there's no place better than Batch Brewing Company. Located in Corktown, craft beer, scratch chicken, kitchen. See, I got that chicken jerk sausage in my brain. That is the place to be. We are going to be broadcasting live out there. Can't thank Dave and the entire crew for having us out there. I know our friends from Legacy are going to be out there. I'm going to ask the boys from Wealth Advantage. Mike, are you coming? I hope you're coming. The coach, Kirk Hunter, said that he's going to try to stop by. So we'd love to have you out there as well. Blake, you can hang out with us for like an hour, right? You and I can sing songs and have fun for like an hour before you have to go to your other job, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
will be there until 11:30.
Good. So you can hang out there. We are broadcasting live from 10:30 until noon. Hey, if you can't be down there, find a way to get down there. But if you can't be down there, make sure to check us out. We are going to be on all the streaming platforms and all of that. And this gives me ample opportunity to once again thank them for having us out there. Looking forward to doing multiple things with them in the future. Looking forward to seeing you out there as well. What a wonderful April this is going to be. One might say April in the D.
No.
But Batch Brewing Company, that's the spot on opening day.
So real quick, I stopped by there the other day to check out where we were going to be broadcasting from, make sure everything was going to go smooth. And that place is awesome.
Yeah.
Like I'm not underselling it at all. It is a very, very cool setup. So even if you can't make it down there to check us out that day, it's a spot I highly recommend to anyone. It's a very, very, very cool vibe in there. I really enjoyed it.
You had me at chicken jerk sausage. Like when I would, dude, oh, so good. Anything jerk. A couple of years ago, we went through like this jerk phase where Mike and I over the course of like a couple of months, and Blake, maybe you were over maybe you were over at some point in time when we did some jerk stuff, but we did jerk everything. We did jerk wings, we did jerk lamb, we did jerk chicken. We did jerk everything. Justin asked, this is perfect for you. When will the podcast be back on Apple Podcasts?
I am in the process of working on it this week.
Thank you.
They are in progress.
Thank you.
We were running into some technical difficulties over the last few weeks, but it is being taken care of. I am
Thank you.
on it. Consider
You're
it, Justin. Consider it done. How about that? That's a Blake
Thank you.
guarantee.
Thank you very Blake. It's nice that Jim's giving me play-by-play for a game right now, you jerk. Thanks, Jim. I'm joking. Alex said, would it be fair to say that Yzerman should be on the hot seat as well? It's been 5 years, no playoff appearances to show for it. The answer is no. And I'm gonna tell you why the answer is no. I think he told everybody, whether you wanted to hear it or not, I think he told everybody how this was going to go almost 5 years ago. April 19th, 2019. He didn't blow any smoke in that press conference. He said it wasn't going to be easy. He said this isn't about just getting back into the playoffs. This is about competing for a Stanley Cup. For me, and I've been consistent with this for this entire era. And Blake, you've probably heard me do this rant 31 times, so I'm going to make it 32, okay?
Yes.
The clock doesn't even start on Steve Yzerman. Doesn't even start until next fall. It just doesn't. I know nobody wanted to hear it then. I'm a firm believer, if you pay attention, if you listen to what a coach or general manager is saying, more often than not, you'll get the answer that you're looking for. He didn't use this term. This is my term. But I also know this is a term that they were thinking about. And you never give up your source. This was legitimately a 5-year plan. It was a 5-year plan. And when the 5 years were over, it was going to be, where is this team at for the 24-25 season? That's what this is. Now, Alex, to your point, do I expect the Detroit Red Wings to be a serious contender next fall? Absolutely not. I don't. Better? Yeah. Serious contender? Up there in the rarefied air with, the Bruins or where the Rangers are at or where Florida's at right now? No, I don't. But I think whether people want to admit it or not, the clock doesn't even start until the fall, in my humble opinion. It doesn't even start.
Do you think people forget how bad things were before he came in? Like how bad of a position this franchise
Now,
was in?
I know Alex is a really big hockey fan, so he didn't.
Yeah.
But I think the average person out there, 100%. 100%.
There were so many bad contracts on the books. So many.
They didn't have hardly anything in the system. They didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't have hardly anything in the system. And you know what? It takes a while. And I need to keep repeating this. Rebuilds are not easy. We can talk about rebuilds. I think it's a right decision to look at things in the way they are going and saying, okay, this is going nowhere. It's time to tear it down to build it back up. But it's not as easy as snapping your finger. It just isn't. I think in the NHL alone, I mean, look at Columbus, how many quality players they've gotten out of drafts, and this is the year they're going to take the big step. Buffalo's another example. I mean, for years, I've been a guy, keep an eye on Buffalo, and they're right around the same point. They're right around the same point where you're going, okay, when it all comes together, look out, they're just right there, and it just isn't happening, So I think Edmonton was cursed like that for many years too. When you think of all the high draft choices that they had. So the clock doesn't even start until next fall. And I know nobody wants to hear it, but at least I've been consistent, and I've been consistently saying that for the last 4.5 years.
It's like barbecue, Sean. When you're barbecuing that sweet meat, it takes time. And then it gets real good. That's how it works.
Darren asked you, Blake, do the Wings make the playoffs?
I sure hope so. That'd be real fun. Something fun to root for.
Or no?
No.
I feel the same way. I need to see more.
No, that skid that they went on was too long. They gave up too many good opportunities to separate themselves.
Jason threw in 1967 bitch. You know I love that. Tony said, unfortunately, Larkin is not elite. Good, yes. Best player on the team, yes. Tony, you know I've been crucified for that. I don't understand why people. I don't think people really get as mad before, but a few years ago, people got really mad at me for saying that. Like, he's not a number one center. He's not. If you're comparing him to number one centers around the league, he doesn't compare favorably. And somehow, when you say something like that, people get offended. And I always follow it up with, I'd take him on my team any day of the year. Okay. Now, that contract, we could have a debate about that, but I mean, he's important to the team. He's right now, I tend to agree with Tony. I think he's the best player on the team. There's still more upside there with a couple guys and everything. It's not like a bad thing, but I think teams need to be strong up the middle. And obviously you want a true number one center, and he's just not a number one center, man.
Yeah.
He's not. Mark said, Ken Holland had the team so deep in the pit. Steve has just now got them back to level ground. Now they can start building to push for cups. They need game breakers to challenge for contender status. Right now, there's only Kane, and how much longer can they count on him? Mike threw in, you can have all the picks and players you want, but without a great coach, you get nothing. Mark said Larkin isn't a 1C on a cup team, but he would be arguably the best 2C in the league. Mark, and somehow people get mad about that. Like, and I don't get it. Now it doesn't happen as much, in fairness, but people used to get so mad. What's your problem with Larkin? Nothing. I take him on my team. Are you kidding me? They're not, I got no problem with Larkin. It's just one of those things, Mike said, go ahead.
Kane is awesome. Like, Kane is just awesome. Like, he's exceeded every expectation that I feel like we should have had for him coming into this, like coming off of the hip surgery and everything. 100%. Like, that dude, like, Chicago had it real good with him, obviously, but like, he's so much fun to watch. Like, just as not hockey elite, just as a fan of the sport, watch from a distance, he is so much fun to watch. It's incredible.
I'm not the guy that goes back and does the and wag the finger. There are so many douches like that on social media, but I got killed by a lot of people, like and a couple angry guys the day that they signed Kane. And the one thing that I said, even to some friends of mine that didn't necessarily like it, is, tell me what the loss is. Tell me what the loss is. All right, let's play a game of pretend. He doesn't bounce back from the hip injury. He doesn't bounce back. The hip doesn't respond. All the doom and gloom naysayers were right. You don't come back from that injury. Okay, so what did they lose on? Yeah. What did they lose on? What did they lose on? Let's say he came in and he didn't provide a spark. He didn't even provide a spark. He played well, but he didn't provide a spark. Trade him for a third-round pick. You're getting a free third-round pick. Mm-hmm. I didn't understand where the negative was. Okay? I really didn't. So worst case scenario, he's an absolute dog and he ends up on the shelf in 2 games. Okay? What did you lose out on? How did that? It didn't make sense to me. Now, if you wanted to have the debate, what does he have left in the tank? Well, we can do that because I don't have the crystal ball in front of me. I couldn't tell you that he was going to be, as you said, as important as he was, and certainly as clutch as he's been. But
I mean, he's at like a point a game, right?
Yeah. To me, peel back the layers. Okay, this is a peel back the layers topic, and it's like, okay, if he fails, what did the Red Wings lose? Nothing. I mean, it really, and who knows? I mean, does he come back next year? That's a conversation we can have. Jason said, that's it, Sean. I'm going to go take a nap so I can give you one good punch over this Larkin talk. That's a good bit. Do you know that one? Can I tell you that one, Blake?
Yeah, I'm always down to hear about a good bit.
Okay. So during the 2011 playoffs, Montreal and Boston were playing in the playoffs. And, I'm not a big fan of Boston and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I had a dream, true story. I had a dream during the 2011 playoff that I got into a fight. I got into a fight with a particular Bruin, Johnny Boychuk.
Okay.
And Johnny Boychuk is just loading up on me. He's pounding away on me. And as I'm getting pounded, and I told this story on the air, as I'm getting pounded, I'm just sitting there going, one good punch, one good punch. And I leapt up and caught him right underneath the jaw. I caught him like right underneath the jaw, to the point where, like how you feel it in your hand. Like in my dream, I felt it in my hand, right?
Yeah.
And I laid Boychuk out. Greatest dream ever.
Yeah.
Well, here's the problem. I actually punched something. And when I woke up, like honestly, I thought I punched my wife. I was terrified, to the point where like I woke her up and everything. Did I punch you? I punched the headboard. My hand was like all bruised and crappy and all that stuff. But in my dream, I seriously hit the headboard. I think I have problems. No, you know what? I don't think I have problems. I know I have problems. So that's Jason going in the annals of Sean's mental health issues, bringing that.
That's a scary place to be.
One good punch in. Yeah. That was a really good story. Darren said Larkin just isn't the best captain. Not bad, but Kane is incredible. I've heard that. I don't know if it's true. I'm not, I'd be lying if I say I didn't hear that, and I didn't hear that recently. I don't know if it's true. I can't, I don't know, seriously. But like I said, I'd be lying if I didn't say that I heard that. But I don't know, what constitutes a good captain, to me. Tony said Kane is fluid, effortless, smart. I hated him when he was in Chicago. Those are the guys that when they play for you, though, you love, Like when Chelly came here, I told everybody, I said, I get it. You hate his guts. You're going to love him real soon. You're absolutely going to love him real soon. Ted said the Kane signing was low risk, high reward signing. Looks like the high reward side of the coin is winning. 100%.
Do you think they'll try and re-sign him though?
Yes. Yes.
Good.
And we'll find out quick, fast, in a hurry if there are issues with this team. Because if he doesn't want to resign here, remember what he said. He wanted to be a Red Wing. He wanted to be here. If he doesn't want to resign here, that tells me that there are issues going on with this.
That makes sense. Yeah, 100%.
And if that means I'm reading too much into it, so be it. I think that leaves itself open to it. I really do. Can I talk to you about our friends at Legacy? Can I?
Yes, you
can I
can.
do that?
Yeah, I would love that. Love
the boys. The boys are going to be out there on Friday. Yeah, they said they're going to pop in on Friday. I'm looking forward to seeing each and every one of them. Joe and Alex and Dave. And I have to tell you, guys, seriously, take them up on this quote, because thousands of Metro Detroiters have already called Legacy Partners to get help with their home and auto insurance, and they have saved. Why? Because our friends at Legacy Partners are one of Southeast Michigan's top independent insurance agents. They provide a full-service, one-stop solution for all of your insurance needs, personal and business, large and small. Legacy has helped our listeners by fixing mistakes other agents have made, asking the right questions to get you the right coverage put in place to properly protect you and help save you money. Put them to the test. My goodness gracious, what are you waiting for? Get your quote. It doesn't cost you a darn thing. Chances are, if you haven't checked your policies in the last year, you are paying too much and you could be underinsured. What are you waiting for? Give Legacy Partners a chance to help with your home, your cars, life insurance, Medicare enrollment, or business insurance needs. Call them today, 586-209-4106. That's 586-209-4106, or visit legacypartnersins.com to get started with those new quotes. I love the fact that Ned Braden is in the chat. That Ned, you make me very, very happy. Blake, do you know who Ned Braden is?
I don't. I would love to learn though.
Oh yeah, I forget who I'm talking to. He doesn't watch movies. Slapshot.
Haven't seen it. Sorry. We're gonna
Mike,
lose viewers now.
Mike, we are going to have a dual movie viewing barbecue day one day with young Blake. Slapshot is mandatory watching. Mandatory watching. Ned Braden was the star on the team.
Okay.
And that's all I'm going to tell you. I'm not giving away anything else. Anything else. Todd, you can come over and watch those movies too.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Just to everyone out there, because I have to do this because you can't. If everyone watching could please like the video. And if you're watching us on Twitter, please go check us out on YouTube and like the video there. I just tweeted out the link to the YouTube stream on my Twitter. We'll get that retweeted on the Off the Air Pod one as well. But
Here,
please come check us out on YouTube and give us some likes so that we can spread the love here,
Talk me through this. Where are you at?
Well, my Twitter, it's right on the screen. It's at Blake on Sports.
All right. Arthur said, "Hey, Sean, I just started listening. Are you going to be uploading every episode from here on out onto YouTube? Are we going to be doing that, Blake?"
Yeah, they all go up there automatically because we stream all of them.
They are. All right. So Blake, let me find you. We're nothing like doing this. Okay, please subscribe. Come check us out on YouTube. All right. So I'm going to retweet that now.
Yeah, get my tweets.
And then if you guys could go do what Blake said, because I mean it's like he's speaking Portuguese to me. I didn't understand a gosh damn word he
but
just
it helps
said.
us grow. We're trying to grow this thing. We want more people. And if you think we're doing a good job and you think other people would enjoy what we're doing, then it helps the algorithm and more people will see us naturally, which is what we want.
I have no idea what you just said. Algorithm?
Yeah. You know what an algorithm is, right?
Sure. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, you've heard it before. You've heard that word before.
Somebody said, "Is there a stream you guys prefer us to watch on?" I'm just happy you're watching.
Oh, we're happy you're watching, obviously. YouTube, it would be the best.
Okay.
But if you're watching anywhere, we're happy to have you, and we're happy you're enjoying us. That was
Michael,
really nice of someone to ask.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's really cool. If I can, we haven't talked much about this. I'm glad that you brought this up. You know what's really cool is you can actually see how many views we're getting on Twitter and all these things. We're getting well over 1,000 views on everything. Some have been sky high. So thank you. We're doing something right. If you want to be a part of it, reach out to me, reach out to Blake. We'd love to add you to the team. We'll work with whatever you have to work with. Trust me. This is just something I've said it. I wanted to do this not only because I miss talking sports, but you know what? The older I get, I want to have fun. I'm sick and tired of the bitching and moaning. More on that in a second about the Tigers. I'm just tired of it, really. Maybe it's because I'm 53 years old now, and I just want to watch and enjoy the damn game, right? Everybody's bitching and moaning about this, that, and the other thing, Yeah. Ned Braden said, "OMG," by the way, that you haven't seen Slapshot. Mike said, "Barbecue, Slapshot, and Youngblood." Yes, you have to watch Youngblood. Because what kid growing up doesn't have the opportunity to leave his junior team and go train in the Olympic size rink inside his barn, mind you. And within 2 days, going from the biggest, I almost said a derogatory term for the female genitalia, wuss in the league, to beating up the toughest guy in the league in 2 days. It's a story about junior hockey that every kid has been through, but you need to watch it.
I feel like you just described that movie Goon.
No, because the problem with Goon is this guy was already tough. This
Okay.
guy was the biggest wuss in the league. And in 2 days' time, in his backyard rink in his barn, not only became the toughest guy in the league, scored the winning goal, but beat up the toughest guy in the league, all in 2 days' time.
Does it help that I've seen Miracle at least? Saw that.
That helps.
Does that help? That's one
Yeah,
we
that
don't have to watch.
Miss you in Grand Rapids. Thank you. Glad to hear your voice. I had a great time there. Hello, gents. Todd said, call our sponsors. Yes, by all means. We'll tell you about Wealth Advantage, but Lindsay Broadwell, if you have something with your home, Legacy, obviously come out and see us at Batch. We'd love for you to be a part of this. This is really growing. It's growing more than I even thought it would, because I was like, who wants to listen to me? I've been on for 29 years. And so thank you. If you want to be a part of it.
That helps, Sean.
No, it isn't.
I've
Come
been
on.
on for 25 years.
But come on, I ran out of gas about 15 years ago. Let's be honest.
That's just not true. That's why I'm here.
Exactly. All right. Mark said, hot take. Slapshot is overrated. It's not a bad movie, but because it was the only real hockey movie for a long time, fans had nothing else to hold on to. When I finally saw it, I was disappointed after years of the hype. Listen to me. Mark, I can understand what you're saying. Are you Mark, old man with a bow tie, by the way? I totally get what you're saying there. Because people quote it ad nauseum and people like me carry on like it's because the whole movie's just quote after quote after quote. I can get where somebody's saying that. Now, I recently showed my son that movie. I purposely waited until he was at an age where he could thoroughly enjoy it, and he loved it. Absolutely loved it. He was like, why didn't you show this to me before? And I go, nah, you needed to be at an age where you could, totally get it and everything. Blake, I think you'd like Slapshot.
I'm sure I would. I'm just not a movie guy, Just, I don't know.
Sports movies.
Yeah, like some. I haven't even seen all of those, though. Like, I've seen a lot of them, but not all of them.
Listen to me, and listen to me right now. When we did that bit with Lomas, before I got fired, when we rattled through like a bunch of like sports movies that everybody's seen 50 times, you were like 2 and 48, right? Something like that.
No, it's incredible. It's actually incredible how many movies I haven't seen.
Yeah.
But I just missed them. It's like, and I'm okay. I feel like I'm a pretty well-adjusted adult. I watch games.
I think what you need is tea with Miss McGill. Okay, I really do. I think that's something that's missing from your life.
What's that a reference to?
Take a look at what Mike said. When you watch Youngblood, you'll find out.
Okay.
Tea with Miss McGill is something that's missing in your life. Carl Racky was a legend. He absolutely was. Oh, Jared, thank you. I have about 6 accounts on YouTube. Give the show all the thumbs up I could give. That's very, very kind. Dave said, I'm a truck driver, but I love sports. Go color that rhymes with glue. You guys know me better than that.
Yeah, go blue.
You're not going to catch me saying that. Sorry. You're just not. Great win the other night. It was. Shep and I talked about it last night. Props to Coach Naranjo and the Michigan Wolverines. They make no mistake about it. They were the better team than Michigan State the other night. No mistake about that. Good on them. Best of luck in the Frozen Four, I think we're going to see those two hang around for just a wee bit.
Do they have any chance to win an Natty?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That'd be sweet. You know how cool that would be for me? 2 Natties 1 year.
I said this, so I was on Fox 47 with my buddy Jack Ebling the other night, and BC is a wagon. Make no mistake about it. But the one team left in the tournament that is within shouting distance from a talent standpoint, in my mind, is Michigan. Michigan has a ton of talent. And I think that's what made, if I may be so bold, and I'll just speak for one Spartan fan, that's what made a lot of Spartan fans like me so happy with the way that things went in this season. From a talent standpoint, Michigan should be beating them. But the great equalizer was having, a guy that's going to go top 3 in the draft on the blue line and having a guy like Trey Augustine in net. That was the great equalizer. Is so many times you see in the game of hockey at all levels. I mean, I know it's an old bit to so many ears, but it's true. Man, if you have a special goaltender, you're giving yourself a shot.
And
It
Coach
doesn't always
Nightingale,
work out that way, but if you have a special goaltender, you're giving yourself a pretty good shot.
Coach Nightingale seems like the kind of guy that like I would want to play for too.
Yeah, great dude.
Like you can tell he gets those guys going just from talking to him the few times I have.
Ned said nothing with Paul Newman is overrated. He's the OG. He is. I'm telling you. What's the one movie where he played the mafia guy? The Road to Perdition.
You're talking to the complete wrong person.
I know, but I'm just talking out loud. He was phenomenal in that movie. He was like 938 years old. He was Methuselah. And he was phenomenal in that movie.
Jason's being really mean in the chat. Really mean. Jason said, as a Michigan fan, I almost want Michigan to lose because Blake has never seen Slapshot nor Youngblood. Well, that's just mean.
Yes.
Why would you wish ill will on our Wolverines?
Ted talked about Carl Racky and said George Finn is his name. I met George Finn. I did. I did OHL broadcasts for many years. I met George Finn. Oh, look who's in the chat. He had to throw Go NMU Wildcats in there. Mark Beaufait. What's up, Bof?
I heard that you were about to tell us about one of our friends, though.
Oh, you want me to do that right now? Because can I just talk about the Tigers when we're done with this? Can I? Because
I'm trying to segue you to that.
See what happens? Why are you watching this crap? Like, honestly, ask yourself, where are you right now? What are you doing with your life? You're watching this garbage. It's time to reassess some things, right? I have a way that you can reassess things, especially financially. That was like a WJR. Bitch.
No.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? Look no further than the Wealth Advantage Group, located in historic downtown Northville and owned by the Handsome brothers, not the Hanson brothers from Slapshot fame, the Hanson brothers right there. There's Mike Cusack and Jeff Cusack with over 20 years of industry experience. They understand that your financial goals are as unique as you are. That's why they offer personalized expert guidance to help you navigate the complexities of financial planning. Whether you're saving for retirement, getting ready to sell your company, or already in retirement, they can help guide you through every step of your financial journey. They work with clients throughout all stages of life and have clients in over 20 states. The investment world is a complex one. So if you're ready to start taking your finances more seriously, it might be time to do what I did. Call the experts. Reach out to Wealth Advantage Group at 248-773-8574 or view their website at www.thewealthadv.com. Somebody's nice segue, 29 years in the business. All right, so have they called the Tiger game yet?
Let me.
If somebody asked, the rain delay. I know you said that Johnny Kane from Bally said that there was a small window that they might be able to get it in.
Yeah, it's still delayed.
Blake, I don't know if I sound like an old man here, okay?
Yes, you do.
Listen to me. Can't we just sit back and enjoy the fact that they're out to a 4-0 start? And that they've won in dramatic fashion multiple times? Why do we have to sit back and psychoanalyze everything and talk about, well, I think you're going to have 86 wins. I think you're going to have 79.
Especially in baseball.
Enjoy
it's a long season.
Listen,
take your time.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret, okay? The Tigers have been a really bad franchise for a while. And I know nobody wanted to hear it back in 2016, where people like me were ringing the bell very, very loudly. Wake up. This is going to fall, and it's going to fall hard, okay? And then we went through the whole mirage that was the Al Avila era, and it was a mirage. Can we all admit it was believe in the invisible and wait till you see this prospect and wait till you could have thrown made-up names at me, for goodness sake, Okay. There was always, this guy was the catcher of the future. That guy was there are pieces that I can watch with my own two eyes now. Okay. That have me excited. There are multiple pitchers that have me excited. As both said, is Mize ready to go this year? I want to see if Casey Mize can be everything that he was cracked up to be. I want to continue to watch the unbelievable maturation of Tarek Skubal, which quite frankly, I still don't think enough people are talking about. I want to see if all the things at Flaherty in the hot spring can continue. And he had a heck of an outing. Blake, can I just sit back and enjoy the Tigers without getting into long debates about how many games that they're going to win? Is that possible?
I mean, it should be. It's been a week. It's literally been a week. I mean, people just need to enjoy it.
Relax. They're off to a 4-0 start.
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, I just kind of did go Aaron
You did.
Rodgers.
You did. You went full Rodgers. I've always known you really liked that guy. That was really mean what I just did there, huh?
No, can I ask you a question? I'm not see. This is again, my ADD is
no, it's
raging
good.
tonight.
I like when you get weird brain. It's
Listen
cool.
to me. You got one punch.
Mm-hmm.
One punch.
Mm-hmm.
The punch god came down from the boxing ring in the sky, and he said, "Blake, I am going to bless you. You can punch one person in the sporting world, and you won't get in trouble for it."
Mm-hmm.
Who would you punch?
Ryan Day. It's not even. I didn't even have to think twice. It's Ryan Day.
Really? Would it really?
Yeah. Yes. That arrogant prick born on third base.
It's funny. I don't have like a clubhouse leader right now. I really don't.
Really?
I don't have a clubhouse leader right now.
Also, there's one other person
for the Aaron comment. Both's right. Maybe it'd be Blake. Who would you punch? Blake. Blake takes a nap.
There's one other person, not sports, and this is not political in any way, shape, or form, but it's also RFK.
Okay.
Just his voice. It kills me.
Oh, those guys with those voices. Sometimes, guys with voices just make you go, ugh.
Moving on.
Inside joke, party of two. That might be the guy that I punch, actually. But anyway, let me read a couple of these comments. Rotation, bullpen are looking good. The fielding looks good. The bats will come around. Dave, right. Let's just enjoy it. Like seriously. So here's the thing, and Buff, both, if you're still listening, like, do you know how many times we've talked about going to like a baseball game the last couple of years, and then as the season wears on, you're like, I don't even want to go. You know what? Are we really going to make a day about this? All right, man, if you're in town, go ahead. Now, it's different when you go with your kids, you take your family, but the group of guys, like, do I really want to go there and watch them, get clobbered or something like that? And maybe this year, both, we can actually make that trip we've been talking about the last few years, Yeah, I mean, sit back in the month of June and just go, hey, you know what? They're in a pretty good spot right now. And not think about where are they going to finish. Well, the Central isn't good. The Twins are going to be around in the 86, 87 range. We could be. You know what? I'm just going to enjoy this until it's not there, because we haven't seen this very often for a long, long time around here. So I'm not going to get wrapped up about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but don't get too high and don't get too low. Don't be the guy that's like waiting for the wheels to fall off either. Like, just ride it out. Enjoy it.
Yeah, just enjoy the ride. Dave said Mel Tucker. Really? Mel Tucker ticks you off that badly?
Yeah,
Well, I think a lot of Spartan fans might agree with that.
Don't waste a punch on that guy. He's punching himself.
Yeah, right. Todd said, do that, son. I punch that fella what always make fun of NASCAR. They're going to put the socks in the car. That's the fella I'm going to punch. Shut up, Yankee. That's, Jim Blaine said, I would punch Ron McClain. It is amazing for the hockey fans out there. CBC used to be can't miss television, man. And I just find it hard. I'm just going to leave it at that. Can we tell you about Lindsay Broadwell? If
Would love to hear about it.
Okay. If you are in a position where you're moving, you're thinking about a move, you're selling, whatever the case may be, you need to contact the right agent. The agent that I recommend, that young lady right there, Lindsay Broadwell. Your house is probably the biggest investment you'll ever make, and that's why you need a pro. Lindsay grew up on the mean streets of Northville and has expanded her team all over Southeast Michigan. She's an expert in all facets of the business. Now, when it's time to move, our friend Lindsay and her team will make sure you get the most out of your house and that everything goes smoothly when finding your new home. Buyer, seller, first-time buyer, doesn't matter. Make sure you contact Lindsay at BroadwellHomes.com. She will help you with everything from start to close. Licensed realtor at Real Broker LLC. Start your search today at BroadwellHomes.com. Dave said the batters in Toledo and West Michigan could be deep also. And there is that 29 years in the business. Yes, thank you.
As of right now, the game is still delayed. They haven't officially called it yet.
You know, I often say for me, Blake, you know, what's the quote unquote best time of the sports calendar, right? And it's pretty hard to deny the fall. And guys like you and I, college football and hockey. For me, it's like, okay, you know, you had me right there. But this time of year is pretty underrated. It really is, because you have the NHL season coming down and the playoffs getting ready to start. And, you know, yeah, when we're done tonight, I hope I can sit down and watch the Tigers. I really do. I hope that I can sit down and watch the Tigers, and of course, a couple hockey games at the same time. Brett said, you are still making fun of NASCAR. Are you going to start in on Toledo's east side next? No. East side's all right. I used to get some food over there. Sloan did that. My old partner down in Toledo. But yeah, no offense. I say it all the time. If you're into NASCAR, enjoy it. Seriously, I get ripped on for being a hockey fan, so I think you can take it from the likes of me.
I don't get made fun of for anything.
All right,
this
so
is not true.
What do we have to tell people before we get out of here? They have to go to, like, stop what you're doing and go to YouTube and like the video?
Subscribe to our YouTube. Because
Okay.
we don't have nearly enough subscribers. There's 250 people watching, and we don't have 250 subscribers on YouTube. So those numbers do not add up. And if you don't have a YouTube account, use your child's YouTube account. Whatever you got to do. Someone has a YouTube account in your household. You have to. You can watch everything on YouTube. Subscribe to us, like the video, and liking the video will really help our channel grow. So if you could do that, and obviously like us on all the platforms, Facebook, check us out on Twitter, come see us on Friday, all of those good things.
Yeah, definitely. If you're looking for a place to hang out, we'd love to see you at Batch Brewing. We're going to be out there 10:30 to noon. They got beer specials going on, food specials, chicken jerk sausage. Like, come on, seriously. How are you going to deny chicken jerk sausage? Like,
are you going to be able to talk during our live broadcast with all the food that's going to be in your mouth?
Well,
Have you thought about that?
Certain people in my family could tell you, I've never been one to chew with my mouth closed. So I think I can do that. I can have a whole bunch of chicken jerk sausage in my mouth, maybe pack a dip on the other side, and we could have a conversation, right?
Yeah.
Dave said, where is Batch Brewing? Dave, it's funny you asked that question. Cue the clip.
I got it.
You ready? Yeah. There's Batch Brewing Company, located in Corktown in Detroit, not too far from Comerica Park. Craft beer with a scratch chicken. I said it again. Jerk chicken. Open 7 days a week, including opening day. We are going to be out there opening day, 10:30 to 12. Now, what's that address? Well, one way you can look at the menus and find the address is going to batchbrewingcompany.com, or you can look right there, 1400 Porter Street, down in Corktown. So we'll see you out there. They opening early on opening day. and there are going to be a bunch of great specials out there, and we're going to be out there, and hopefully we have a couple special guests that I'm kind of working on. It is a big, giant party in Detroit.
And if you go to Batch Brewing and you whisper off the air into your waiter or waitress's ear, you'll get a free water. That's a guarantee.
Are you serious?
Free water.
That's a great deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a great deal.
So tell them off the air sent you.
That's going to be a fun day for me because the thing is, not only you have the opening day festivities, and hopefully we'll see you all out at Batch. I'm going to the Wings Rangers game that night.
Nice. Look at you, man of the people, on a Friday.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. All right. Anything else before we get out of here? Are you done with the shenanigans of the evening?
I was going to ask you if you're excited about the eclipse.
The hell's wrong with you? No. Why would it?
Good. I was going to punch you if you were.
What was the event a couple years ago where, like, Kristen, you guys like put on the aluminum foil and got a box, and you hid in a box?
That was the eclipse too. It was a different.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
And
these eclipses come all the time. I think it's stupid.
Blake, I shit you not. Like I'm sitting in the front room and I go out to get the mail, and there's my entire family like in a box in front of the house.
Did you knock the box over?
With like aluminum foil. No, I looked at him. I looked at him, shook my head, went like that, and immediately turned around and went inside.
Yeah.
What are you people doing?
And
then I took pictures of it. To be honest with you, I still have those pictures somewhere. 3-2 Sabres in the third. Thank you very much. All right, we got to get out of here. Blake, thank you. Todd, thank you. Thank you to all of you. Seriously, if you can take a second, go to YouTube, subscribe to the page, like it on YouTube. I don't care where you watch us. Just watch us. Hopefully you're enjoying this. I'm going to say it again. This is so much fun. All kidding aside, it has completely like rejuvenated me. I'm having fun doing this again. And Blake, it's certainly
we're going to get the podcasts fixed.
Yeah, we're going to get all those podcasts up. Somebody asked earlier, they're all going to be on, what is it, Apple Play or
Apple and Spotify and all the places where you can find podcasts. You will be able to listen. That way people can listen in the car.
Yes, we'll catch up, no doubt about that. And if you want to be a part of it, contact me, contact Blake. We would love to help advertise whatever it is that you're selling, because the people that help us out, we're going to go above and beyond to make sure that people help you out. The people who help us, can't you help them? We would really, really appreciate it. But in the meantime, have a good one. We'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll be back, a very special edition of What the Puck.
Big episode.
We have Kelly Miller on. We have John Ogrodnik on. I'm going to get geeky with them and talk about like unbelievable moments that they both had in the 1987 Stanley Cup playoffs. And then we have Michigan's women's head coach as well. Probably going to be a legitimate NC2A team soon. And I applaud that and think it's great for the game of hockey. Blake, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Take care.
Off the Air with Sean Baligian, featuring Sean Baligian and Blake Majchrzak. Produced by Todd Losey and Blake Majchrzak. Executive produced by Sean Baligian and Todd Losey. Theme song, incidental music, and related sound effects are from Play It Loud by Jam Studio. Engineering, mixing, and graphic design support provided by the Unsyndicated podcast team. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Off the Air with Sean Baligian on all your favorite channels. While you're there, be sure to rate and review the podcast. Got something to say to Sean? Call the Unsyndicated hotline at 248-237-3257.